everyone, it's Della DuLac. I don't know about you, but sometimes when it gets so close to Christmas, I need a few quick, more cards or projects. So I like to come back to some of my old paper pumpkins. This one is from November 2019. And I love it when Stampin' Up! Coordinates either some of their kits with existing stamp sets or with another kit. This particular one went really well with the October Winter Woods kit that was previous. So the snowflakes from this set and the current, or this one here, went together. So I'm going to show you a few of those together. But this kit was originally for some tags. Of course, I did not do tags. I turned them into cards. This is the stamp set. We'll do some more of those. Here are all of my cards. I still have some little pieces left over, some ribbon, some birds and some snowflakes that I'll finish those up with. But these were some of the tags that I just turned into cards. Move that over here so you can see. So just very quickly, I'll show you how I turned some of these tags into a card. I just cut off the little loop that was on the top of that tree, added it to a card base. This is Night of Navy. And then you can add a little bit of white. I like to do that when I have a really dark card base and put that on the inside so you can write. So that was this one. And then this tag right here, I added some embossing folders. You can pull out all of your folders and see what kind of coordinates with them. Same thing with this tag here. I just added a little bit of white with an embossing folder there. Same with this one. Paired up very nicely. Pulled out some of the colors that are in this kit to use for the card bases. So that's with those, and then I still have, like you saw in the box, I still have some of the birds, and have this embossing folder. I thought that would work pretty well with that, make it look like it's sitting on one of the branches. And when you're all done with all the parts and pieces and you just have your stamp sets left over, pull those out, especially these two that coordinate together. So this large stamp, this large snowflake stamp, coordinates with this small one. So it's the similar style of snowflake. So you can pair those up really well together. I'll show you that on a different card. So this one here, I wanted the berries to be red. You can use a technique when you use your markers and you color directly on the stamp. Unfortunately, with the photopolymer, that technique doesn't always work because you're going to get some streaking sometimes. So I guess let's see if you can see it here on this one. So I colored my stamp with my Stampin' Right marker. And sometimes you're going to see those little streaks on the photopolymer stamp. Sometimes it doesn't quite take the ink very well. It tends to bead up. And sometimes you can use an emery board or a sanding block and just kind of sand your image just a little bit, just to kind of rough it up and kind of get some of that film off your stamps, and sometimes that works. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work with this one as well as I was hoping. You could still see those streaks. So what you can do is you can just ink the whole thing on an ink pad and color it, but I really wanted the red berries. So you can see on another one, let me pull that one out so you can see this one. So with this one, I just stamped them in the shaded spruce, and then I wanted the red berries, so I pulled out some of the rhinestones. So these rhinestones are just a little bit too small. You want it large enough, especially for that largest berry. You want to be able to cover that all up. So I pulled out some of these. So if you have some that have two different sizes, So you can see with this one, let me get that up underneath there. So you can cover that large berry. It is going to make your rhinestone a little darker because you've got the green underneath it, but it still looks really nice. And then I took the other two smaller ones, you can see on the card here. So I just took some of those rhinestones and covered up the green berry with a red rhinestone. And then for the inside, I stamped just the green, but tried to get the berry off. You could kind of see that one a little bit. But I just tried to get the leaves for the inside. And then just paired that up with a larger stamp for the middle. And I pulled out one of our corner punches. So you can kind of get creative, pull out what you have on hand to pair up with some of your card or your stamp sets that are left over from Paper Pumpkin, and just kind of keep those at hand. Let's see. Let's finish going through these, and then I'll show you another way that you could color this one. We'll leave that one here for a second. Same with this one. So I did stamp them with the ink pad, and then I wanted to color the berries. While we're at it, let's just go ahead. So let's get this one. We'll open this ink pad, get a piece of scratch. So with the larger image, the leaves were the worst one that looked kind of streaky. So when I tried to color the leaves with my green marker, didn't really work. So I figured I will ink the whole thing up in the green. And now I'm going to take a blender pen, and I'm going to take some of that ink off of the berries. And just wipe that off with the blender pen, rub it on a scratch paper, and just kind of clean those berries off a little bit. Because if you just use your marker to color the berries with that green ink on there, it's going to get really dark and muddy. So since the berries are kind of small, they didn't streak as badly. So I'm going to get some color on there. And if you tap your marker a little bit, you can kind of eliminate some of those little streaky marks. So I've colored the berries on my stamp. And it can take you a couple minutes to do that. So the green leaves are probably drying. So if you breathe on it or huff on it, you can moisten that ink again. And then stamp. So you've got the two colors on your one stamp. Very pretty. So my leaves aren't streaky. The berries aren't too bad at all. And then if you even go over those berries with your Wink of Stella and glitter them a little bit, little sparkly berries, and the Wink of Stella will kind of blend some of that red together too. So if you had a little bit of streaking on the berries, then that Wink of Stella is going to kind of help fill it in too. So then that's a good technique if you wanted the red berries, or if you have any of your stamps that you want two colors on that same stamp, you can get out your markers. You can try this technique if you're having some streaking. Definitely have a scratch paper handy, test it out, see how it works, see what you like and don't like, and try that. And then come back to our little samples here. So this one here, I pulled out, this was a perfect embossing folder. Of course, it's retired, but it worked really well with this holly. I thought that was pretty nice. And did the same technique on the inside here. Stamped it all in the green, cleaned off the berries, and used my marker. And then with the blue, I took, like I mentioned earlier, I took this large snowflake and paired it up with the little snowflake from this kit, this one here. And then I created my own background paper, if you will. And then I stamped some along the inside and on my envelope. This this one here, similar layout, but I had a few of those snowflakes left over in one of the snowflake embossing folders. This one was my favorite. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that one. I love these snowflakes. They're so pretty. Paired that up with those. I took a little piece of the silver silver here from the reindeer. Just cut that off and tuck that underneath my tag so I could still have some fun, a little bit of silver in there, and then just stamped some of the little snowflakes in there just very lightly on the inside. So these are some great things that you can do with your stamp sets when you're all left with just your stamp sets, you're not sure what to do. Pull out some of your past kits and see which one coordinates with each other and pair them up to create some great little backgrounds. Hope that helped. If you're looking for some quick last minute card ideas, let me know if if you have any questions. You can put those down in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that bell button so you don't miss a video. Have a great day.